was a gathering for the internet for parents, and they should come and they should realize how important it is that they have, if they have internet, that at least they should have filters on their phones, on their computers, to protect the children. The children should understand, and they should understand that it's something that is very crucial. But the main thrust of that gathering was not so much to convince the parents that internet is something you have to be in control of, but rather they should understand that since that the neshamas of your children are so precious, and they're so valuable and they're so holy, you need to make sure that you treat them with the proper dignity and respect that a Yiddish neshama, that the neshamas of our children deserve. So he told over the following story. When he was a younger man, which means when he was learning in Kollel, in the Mir Yeshiva in New York, the Rosh Yeshiva there was of Shmuel Berenbaum. And there was a boy in the yeshiva at that time, a Bachar, who had gotten himself involved with gambling. He had a gambling issue, and everybody knew about it. He would go off at nights, wherever, I don't know, he went to Atlantic City, whatever he did. He had a real problem, he was gambling. And Rabbi Ben had this boy, inside of them. And if we put the wrong thing inside of our house, if we put the wrong thing, like I've said many times, about the visit, and people were astonished all of the time that he didn't have a television in his house. So he used to tell them, he didn't want to off, kids didn't want to play with him in the games. And suddenly, the Rabbi who was there could not explain. This boy began understanding things in class. Suddenly the Gemara began making sense to him. He raised his hand, he had a comment, he had a question, he made sense. He said the right thing. On the schoolyard, he was getting better at ball, he was becoming friendly, sociable, guys wanted to hang out with him, becoming a normal kid. About a month and a half goes on like this, until this kid is becoming now like one of the top kids in the class. He doesn't understand what's going on. So he calls one day the mother with a nachas report. And he says, Miss, I just want to let you know you should have such nachas from me. Your little uncle over there. He is progressing so beautifully. It's like a different boy. He's learning, he's striving, he understands, he's growing, he's friendly with the kids. She's like, oh, thank you so much for calling and telling me that. I'm so good. Thank you so much. So listen, I just have to ask you one question. We both know what your son was like up until about a month and a half ago. Can you tell me what changed? So the phone gets very quiet. And the mother says, I'll tell you. So about a month and a half ago, Rabbi Bender was in the yeshiva and thrown out. And he mentioned over there that if we're going to kick him out of the yeshiva, it must be that for his spiritual welfare, you should have had 40 fasts in order to make sure that you're doing the right thing. She said, I thought to myself, my son is suffering spiritually. My son is not growing in yeshiva the way that I would like him to, the way that he could. So how can I just throw in the towel? I'm going to fast 40 days for my son to make sure that he has success in yeshiva. She says, Rabbi, I want to tell you, it was not easy. I go to work every day, and there were parties going on, and there were events that took place, and there was food all around, and I had to excuse myself every single time. I can't eat. I went to weddings, I didn't eat. I went to brises and bar mitzvahs, I didn't eat. 40 days I didn't eat for my son. But I guess it worked, she said. Baruch Hashem. And this says the king over here, where do we learn such a thing from? We don't learn it. You trust the younger mind, you trust the young out. But if you go to the Gedolei, you go to the great leaders of our generation, you go to the Rosh Yeshiva, you go to people whose minds are swimming with Torah, with Kedusha, with holiness. So you get the right answer. We don't have so many people like that left. Certainly we don't have the Kohanim in the Beis Hamikdash. We don't have the Levim singing their songs. We don't have the great Levim, the prophets of that time, who are the loftiest of all levels. We don't have them. Even in our time, we don't have all of the leaders that we once had. So for this, we cry. Keynote number 10. Historical background to appreciate exactly, but when Yirmiyahu made up that as we mourn on Tisha B'Av and we have the Kinnos over the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, so it's very important that we mention Yoshe Melech as well, because he was the end of an era. It was the end of an era that took place. It was almost a revival and restoration of Klal Yisrael, based on see where he comes from. He came from a home that was not a Torah house. He came from very humble beginnings. He grew up amongst idol worshippers. His father, whose name was Ammon, and his grandfather was Menashe. They were Rishonim. They were wicked people. And those were his two role models. Okay? Ammon, he realized what a feeling it is and what a life it is. And he went on this campus. This book has gotten me into more trouble than ever before. Because Rabbi realized a woman, she was, I don't know, I think she was about this tall. She was approximately 4'8". She was a woman she went through the Holocaust at the age, I think, of about 7 or 8 years old. She survived miraculously with her father, and I believe, and her mother also. She came to America. And they were the only religious Jews living in the area where she was. And her father taught at a very young age, our mission in this world is to bring the light of Torah to the Jewish people. And he used to tell her, when you go to school and you find Jewish friends, invite them to our house for Shabbos. She said, She said, these kids are not religious, not going to. She said, go and invite them to our house for Shabbos. You'll see, they'll love Shabbos at our house. And she used to go, she used to tell her friends, my father would like to invite everyone to our house for Shabbos. Don't worry, we have good food, it'll be fun. Just come, stop in. And the kids would come, and the father would make a whole Shabbos with them. He would sing songs, and he would tell stories, and he would make you feel good for being Jews. And they were macabre, dozens and dozens of kids in the early days of American Jewry after the war. And this was the credo that she had in her mind and how to live her life. Life was meant to bring other Jews closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And she didn't stop. At the age of, she was a young lady in her 30s, is when she began this monumental project called Hineni, which was her Kiruv organization that has already been going strong for over 50 years. And she began it one night in Madison Square again. She was sitting on a plane. It's such a story. She was sitting on a plane, and she was next to a young man. And she's looking at the young man. She always would try to figure out if the people Jewish, not Jews, then this guy over here. And he walks right over to her and looks at her. I'm a Rebbetzin. I have a special organization called Humanity. She pulls out her card. She says, one day, when you'd like to have a tour of the beautiful religion that you come from, give me a call, and I'll be happy to tell you what it really means to be in LA. And this is a man that was on fire to spread Torah and mitzvahs to the Jewish people. So all of his kids have this tremendous zest for helping other Yidden do mitzvahs. So we have a lot of Israeli contractors and workers and laborers that are there on. You know what we do. I'll let you know. That's why human being. That itself is a pain. And plus, like our generation has been, and that has been, and generation has been, and that has been, and it's getting worse and worse and worse every single day. So if you have a Rashi streets all the time, one story, and then we'll see her Shmeisels and hungry before. So very often the camp said, "Saw what kapos, the Jewish kapos." They were so against the Lord. The father, Rabbi, was supposed to show us because the only road that I can